For years, the two giants of the music world, Taylor Swift and Drake, had shared a friendly relationship. It was even rumored that the two got along well behind the scenes and might one day collaborate on a song together. However, this friendship was overshadowed by a huge scandal that shook the music industry. It was revealed that Taylor Swift had been secretly working with one of Drake's biggest rivals. As this news spread, Drake began posting cryptic and resentful messages on social media, leaving his fans in suspense. Little did anyone know, this was just the beginning of a much larger chain of betrayals. With the outbreak of the scandal, the music world and fans were almost split in two. Some argued that Taylor was only thinking about her career, and that her move was strategic, while Drake's fans believed it was an unforgivable betrayal. However, the real big event exploded on award night. During the ceremony, while Drake was accepting his award on stage, he made an indirect but quite clear reference to Taylor. "The truth always comes to light. People should see who's a friend and who's an enemy," he said, changing the atmosphere of the room instantly. After a few seconds of tense silence, all the cameras turned to Taylor Swift. In that moment, everyone wanted to see how she would react. However, Taylor smiled and applauded as if nothing had happened. With this gesture, she seemed to show that she didn't care about the rumors. But the small glimmer in her eyes implied that she actually knew everything. Things didn't stop there. The backstage events were even more complicated. At the same time, a news story that exploded on social media completely changed the situation. A paparazzi photo showed Taylor meeting with Drake's ex-girlfriend alone in a hotel lobby before the award ceremony started. However, a hidden detail in the footage suggested that the situation needed to be examined more deeply. A hotel worker claimed that Taylor not only had an intimate conversation with the ex-girlfriend, but also told her some important things. The worker said that Taylor had an open message on her phone. The message read, "If you try to embarrass me on stage, I'll be forced to reveal the truths I have. You choose." The recipient of the message was still unclear, but it was undoubtedly a major threat, and the game was on. Immediately after the award ceremony, Drake couldn't contain his anger and stormed out of the backstage. After seeing the messages on his phone, he left the backstage in fury when he heard the news about Taylor's secret meeting with his ex-girlfriend. He immediately posted on social media, "Truths can't be hidden," implying that things weren't as they seemed. However, this was just the beginning. A new rumor broke in the media. It was claimed that Drake was hiding a dark secret about Taylor and that she knew about it. Some media outlets suggested that Taylor had learned of Drake's secret deals that could threaten his career and planned this meeting to put him in a difficult position. If this was true, that smile from Taylor in that moment was actually part of a much larger strategy. After these events, Drake's ex-girlfriend suddenly broke her silence and made a statement to the press. "They're trying to drag me into this, but I'm not a part of it," she said. However, later in her statement, she hinted at the involvement of another power behind the scenes, saying, "If you ask me, some things might really be planned." This statement shook the music world once again. Was Taylor really at the center of this plan? Or was Drake playing the role of a victim? No one knew exactly what was going on, but it seemed certain that there was a bigger game at play. While all this was happening, an anonymous source leaked new information to a media outlet. According to the source, the tension between Taylor and Drake had started long before, and there was actually a third person behind this scandal. Who was the mastermind behind this plot that turned these two artists against each other? This leak from Taylor's team left everyone even more stunned. It turned out that neither Taylor nor Drake was the real player in this game. This scandal was part of a plan, and who had set up the plan became a major mystery. As a result, this complex chain of events continued to shake not only Taylor and Drake's lives, but the entire music industry. Everyone was trying to find out the truth, but each day brought a new mystery. People were beginning to realize that these events went much deeper and were more than just a simple betrayal. Eyes were now on not only Taylor and Drake, but also those around them: managers, business partners, and even former friends. As the media got caught up in the drama, more information continued to be mysteriously leaked. One day, an email with an unknown source was released. The email said, "The real rivalry between Drake and Taylor is hidden behind a love triangle." Taylor didn't just talk to Drake's ex, she made a special offer to her. It was even claimed that the ex-girlfriend not only knew Drake's biggest secrets, but also had information that could threaten his career. Taylor's conversation with the ex-girlfriend was not just about putting Drake in a difficult position, but also about exposing the secret deals she had with other music industry giants. This information shocked not only the fans, but also other famous names. But even more interestingly, on the same day, Drake made a statement in an interview. Sometimes people fall into a bigger trap when they try to close old chapters. This statement seemed like a warning to the entire music world, not just one person. While everyone was debating what Drake meant by these words, they were also curious about Taylor's next move. Taylor had always been known for her strategic thinking, and it seemed like she knew exactly how to turn this scandal in her favor. After all these developments, a strange new event occurred in the music world. Another famous name posted a very attention-grabbing tweet on Twitter. Everyone sees this as just a simple betrayal, but it's part of a much more complex plan. Soon, everything will be revealed. This tweet made many famous figures open their eyes more carefully. Some believed that the strategic games between Taylor and Drake were just pawns in a bigger scheme, while others suggested that this scandal was being manipulated by a larger power that was shaping the industry. The media giants began to investigate the secret relationships and past connections surrounding both artists. Behind what had happened between Taylor and Drake, who knew what kind of old agreements, forgotten rivalries, and unresolved secrets were hidden? Every day brought new statements, new claims, and new messages, and the situation was getting more and more complicated. No one knew who was on which side anymore, or where this scandal had really begun. All these events were starting to push people to look at things from a different perspective. It was becoming clear that this wasn't just damaging the careers of celebrities, but also uncovering the hidden games powerful figures in the industry were playing with each other. Everyone's viewpoint shifted. This scandal wasn't just Taylor and Drake's story. It was a reflection of the darker side of the music industry, tangled relationships, and manipulations. And then, one day, an unexpected new statement came from the most unlikely person. Taylor's manager, who had been silent for a long time, suddenly appeared on a TV show and said, "The face everyone is seeing is just a part of the truth. There are bigger games being played in the music world." This statement left everyone speechless. The long period of silence had been extremely strategic, and now everyone was beginning to realize that the conflict between Taylor and Drake was much deeper than they had thought. The manager's words marked the beginning of a new era in the music world, one where games were played not only with music, but also with relationships, power, and secrecy. As more secrets and developments emerged every day, people grew more and more curious. The main question on everyone's mind was when the full truth behind the scandal would be revealed, who had really orchestrated these events, and who would come out victorious. But one thing was certain. This scandal had become an event that would affect not only Taylor and Drake's lives, but the entire music industry. And just when it seemed like everything was about to be solved, an unexpected move came. Kanye West, who had remained silent in recent years, suddenly emerged amidst all this drama. The famous rap star made a statement on Twitter that caught everyone's attention. "I'm revealing everything that's been hidden. Everyone should know what's really going on in the music world. Drake and Taylor are just part of the game they've created together. The real truth is much bigger, and no one is ready for it." Kanye's statements only added more confusion. Everyone was wondering what lay behind Kanye's claims about Taylor and Drake. After all, Kanye had a complicated history with the music industry, especially his past rivalry and conflicts with Drake. It wasn't easy to understand why Kanye made such a strong statement. His remarks caused a bombshell to explode. Kanye's words led to the unveiling of many long-hidden secrets in the music world. In another tweet, Kanye claimed, "Taylor knows Drake's secret, but I know more," making a huge allegation. These words didn't just make people question Taylor and Drake, they began to question the dynamics of the entire music industry. Everyone was trying to understand what information Kanye had and why he decided to speak up at this critical moment. With Kanye's statements, another detail that had barely been discussed before emerged. Kanye had once been close friends with Drake, but their relationship had since soured. As events became more complicated, another surprise development occurred. Ariana Grande suddenly became involved in the scandal. Ariana had been frequently talked about for her personal life recently, but no one had ever connected her to this event. However, Ariana's manager made a statement to the media saying, "Ariana's and Taylor's relationship is much deeper. There's both friendship and great hostility behind this event. Taylor and Ariana have had several secret conversations before." As Ariana's name was suddenly drawn into this complex story, everyone started questioning what role she had played in the relationships between Taylor and Drake. It was known that Ariana and Taylor had worked together often in the past, but the extent of their friendship had never been discussed in the media. Ariana's manager's statement created a moment of silence, but also brought the tangled web of the music industry's relationships to light. Many people began to believe that Ariana was one of the hidden powers behind the Taylor and Drake crisis. But the biggest question was, who would Ariana support in this scandal? Would she side with Taylor, or would she become an ally of Drake? Many suggested that Ariana's sudden and prominent involvement might be part of a larger plan. Everyone was starting to realize that this scandal was no longer just about three people, and the most powerful names in the music industry would make moves to shift the balance of power. In light of all this, the relationship between Taylor and Drake deepened further. In the midst of these events, another famous name was pulled into the drama: Kylie Jenner. Kylie posted on social media, "All of these events are just the beginning. The music industry and the television world are about to experience a revolution like never before," signaling that there was an even bigger secret behind the music world. These posts sparked curiosity about when everyone would finally come face to face with the real nature of these complex relationships and intrigues. When would the truth come out? And which famous names would fuel the fire for their own benefit? Taylor, Drake, Kanye, Ariana, and Kylie. They had all become key figures in a game that was transforming the music industry. But no matter how much information was leaked, nothing was clear. Anything could change at any moment, and the music world was now witnessing one of its biggest scandals. Months had passed since the scandal broke, but the music world was still reeling from its impact. The tension between Taylor and Drake, followed by the ensuing chaos, had not only affected their relationship, but also shaken the power dynamics of the entire music industry. However, in the end, an unexpected resolution emerged. Drake and Taylor finally decided to confront each other. One night, they both arranged a major press conference to put an end to all the doubts and rumors once and for all. The conference room was filled with world-renowned journalists and social media influencers. As the event began, all eyes were on the two artists. For the first time, Taylor and Drake sat side by side, ready to speak openly. Drake was the first to take the floor. Defending himself, he said, "I shouldn't have done it. But some things were meant to stay in the dark. Yes, I made a mistake. But I never wanted to bring anyone down." The sincerity in Drake's eyes spoke volumes. This was a man finally ready to let go of the secret deals and struggles that had left him vulnerable for years. Taylor, on the other hand, responded calmly and maturely. Everyone chooses their own path, but sometimes, at the end of that path, we all have to come together and tell the truth. I never intentionally kept this controversy alive. Like always, it wasn't personal. It was just part of a bigger story. As they looked at each other, they found common ground in a long-standing friendship and rivalry. At that moment, the entire press room fell silent. This wasn't an ending. It was actually a new beginning. But just then, the real surprise came. Kanye West made an unexpected appearance. Despite not being invited to the event, Kanye stepped onto the stage near the end of the press conference and said, "Just like everyone here, we all have a part in this. But what really matters is finally revealing the truth and moving forward without manipulation. I know that everyone in the music industry plays secret games, but this show is over now. We all need to find our own way." Kanye's statement had an incredibly dramatic effect. At that moment, both Drake and Taylor realized the deep significance of his words. The truth had to come out in the music industry. This press conference allowed them to finally put all the scandals behind them, move on from the past, and come out stronger. A week later, Taylor and Drake organized a major charity concert together. This event created a massive buzz, not only in the music world, but also on social media. Ariana Grande, Kanye West, and Kylie Jenner joined the event, performing together and delivering a powerful message of unity. From that day forward, the tension between Taylor and Drake was gone, and they became each other's biggest supporters. Kanye West chose to step away from the hidden power games and manipulations of the industry, focusing instead on producing authentic music. Ariana and Kylie joined this collaborative effort, creating fun and meaningful projects together. The friendships, relationships, and mistrust that had been lost in the midst of the scandal ultimately became valuable lessons. After these events, the music industry became more transparent, with healthier collaboration replacing artist rivalries and manipulations. This moment marked a turning point. In the end, what mattered most was humanity and trust. Taylor and Drake, once seen as enemies, ultimately became each other's greatest allies, and the world celebrated them with a new song. And so, the great scandal came to an end. But what remained were respect among artists, collaborative projects, and the unifying power of music. If you liked this story, don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe for more content.